Let's roll. This is Countercharge, your podcast for ranks, flanks, and kings of war. Join your hosts as they delve into the world of Panithor and bring you worldwide coverage of all things Kings of War.
Welcome to Countercharge. I'm Ralph. In this episode, we are continuing our coverage for the Michigan GT by sharing our Sunday morning sit-down with Ronnie Renton. Please be sure to watch the video from Mantic Games linked in the show notes before listening to this episode, as it will give you some needed context for our conversation. So with the preamble out of the way, pull up a comfy chair, sit back, and enjoy. So we're back. We're with Ronnie,
Hello,
Mr. Ronnie Renton.
How are we?
Well, that was a great night last night.
We had some good fun, didn't it? It was really good.
We did.
Lovely time. We had a real mix of people. We had some Halo people that had never been to a Mantic night before, so they were broken in.
Absolutely.
Learned the chaos.
It was a crazy room,
Yeah.
but I think people got a sense of what 4th edition is going to look like.
Yeah, I mean, we did half an hour of all things Mantic general, so some
Absolutely.
firefight questions, some dead zone questions, and then we rolled into a little bit of hardcore 4th. You know, it wasn't really fair what we did to to those poor guys, but I said, you know what, there's sometimes when you start talking about a new edition, people are in this, the world's going to fall in, and the end.
Well, you hear a little snippet, and then you extrapolate to the worst case thing, right? Right, and you don't have the context of the rules, and that's how you do hype, right? But ultimately, until you have the full rules, it's difficult.
So we've been trying. I mean, I think everyone's been seeing this over the last 2 weeks. Matt and Alessio have just been explaining what we've done, why we've done it, and if you change A over here, that has an effect on C over here.
Absolutely.
So you can't just look at one little bit and go, oh, shooting's changed, and you say, well, of course it's changed, but it does this, it does that,
right.
It allows you to do this, and so what I wanted to do with those, with Nat and did you interview them this morning?
Yes, we talked to Matt Temple and Nate Johnson, and they talked about their feedback from that first instance, and it was really cool.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it wasn't fair that we kind of just dropped them in, and we took the first turn away, so his horde of dwarf crossbowmen wasn't.
Well, to be
effective.
fair, poor Nate was probably handicapped because he had you as the mentor, right? Whereas Matt had at least Kyle P, right?
And what I was trying to just show is it's still Kings of War. What you want to do is what you can do, and then Kyle would just say, "Now instead of that doing this, it does that." And what I kept hearing was, "Oh, that's clever."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
You can allocate your attacks to it. Oh, okay. And I was just trying to show to people, like, please don't panic. We love this game.
No, it felt like Kings of War. It was very different. But it's mechanically, it's very different. It's still Kings of War.
Okay.
It still feels like Kings of War. I think the one thing that comes through is that you definitely combined arms, more combat-heavy focus plays into it. But cavalry are back, I would say. Right? You have the feint rule where you can then withdraw, and when you withdraw, it's basically turn around, run 2d6 away. But with feint, you can pivot back around. So theoretically, then you can charge an indifferent like chaff unit into the unit and into the unit that was attacking you, and you get multiple rounds of charge, just like in real life.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're fantasy, but it's very cinematic.
And my approach is always, well, what would really happen?
Right.
You know, that's where the flank attacks and rear attacks happen from all those years. You're fighting some guys at the front.
Exactly.
If your boy behind you that's supposed to be leaning over and whacking people is suddenly not there, you go, what the hell's going on here? And then you think, okay, when I get a panic, nerve test, off we go.
And moving cavalry to Thunder Charge 3, brilliant. Hits a little harder, but there's a problem there. We're going back to 2nd edition Hindered, where you lose all your Thunder's charge.
Great, and I hope the joy is it's still Kings of War.
Yeah.
But you've got a whole new game to learn.
Yeah.
And you're going to see things over the first 6 months that you've not seen before. You're going to get caught out.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the joy of the game. Once it gets to the stage where everybody knows exactly what's going to happen against every army and every scenario, we're then trying to force that. Okay, well, let's do a Clash of Kings with command dice, which actually is just, it's a layer on top. It's not ingrained. It's not built in. I think the first year of a new edition is the most exciting year if it's true to its roots.
Yeah.
And I think I hope everyone's going to be going.
Well, you get to solve a new puzzle, Ronnie.
Yeah, that's what we do.
It's like we've been playing this. I mean, even 3.5 was just like 3 with some tweaks.
Yeah.
So we're talking 6 years.
Yeah,
it's time for
too long.
it's time. Now, did the British receive it better, worse than the Americans?
I think there's...
I mean, you're British, you're not allowed to complain about stuff, right?
A, you're not allowed to complain. B, as long as they get to keep drinking beer, they don't give a shit.
That's true.
So they get a weekend away from their boss, and they turn up. And we're only allowed to do it once a year in the UK. So, we have Clash of Kings, that's it. I'm not joking, that's not true.
No, but it is a fantastic event with over 200 players. Yeah. It's quite the thing.
No, because I'm being mean to, all the guys that run lots and lots of events. It's slightly less overanalyzed. Brits kind of just shrug their shoulders and go, yeah, right, well,
you could argue
know about it.
You could argue with the reaction with withdrawal, right? Yeah. Back in 3rd edition, there was a big, we love withdrawal, and I think the Brits were like, whatever, if it's in the game, we'll play with it. If it's not, we won't use it.
If it's still the same game, if it's still rank and flank, if I'm still playing with myself, where is your investment? It's in your armies. And I think that was why, back when 2nd edition launched, that was the point where people were coming over to Kings of War because they couldn't use their army. They weren't playing the same game. They want to play a rank and flank, well thought out, well constructed game. And I think we've got a year of new puzzles and new fun. And, being here at Michigan GT is going to be the very last, if not one of the last ever 3rd ed. And, I hope to be over at Clash of Kings Oz for the first big 4th ed game.
Exactly.
So it's a transition, it's a change, and it's all change and no change.
It's fun. This event's interesting, though, because it's not as big as some of the other events. But there's a good collection, very diverse group of people. And the folks that are here playing Kings of War, even Kyle Ritchie. He's
not used to these small 2,000 and 3,000 point games. He likes it at 10, 15, 20,000 points before he gets interested. 25 is where he
That's
is.
A great transition. The question is, okay, all the points are changing, the pricing formulas change. Where do you see the game out of the gate? Are we going to be back to 2,000, you think?
Genuinely no idea. Yeah, I think, as someone was saying last night, it might be up at 3,000 to get... That is simply not... I think that's what the...
You played 1,500 points, though, and it looked like, to me, it looked like a 2,000-point army on the table.
Yeah, well,
but maybe... There
wasn't a lot. There was no magic in there. There was no other thing.
Yeah.
So there was nothing that you were buffing in there. We literally was,
showing army construction, some basic rules and commands.
How quickly they got it.
So I'm sure the dwarves have like 50 different commands now, right?
Well, the dwarves, so there is a little rule that says as Ronnie plays dwarves always win.
Yes.
So if you want a good army, just go buy dwarves. As simple as that. No, I think genuinely with the 2,300 last time, that was an entirely community organisers' decision.
Yeah.
I think it will come out. People will go, I want to have this much stuff and this much choice. So it's 2.5, it's 1.8. It's you play. We go less than 1,000 as ambush style game.
Yeah.
1,000 to 3,000 is a 2 or 3 hour. You and your mates having a real good bash game. Yeah. Where the actual tournament play lands, entirely down to the community, because
we don't like change though. So once we pick, I believe we had 2,300 points at like one master at one point, and it was divided, and then I broke the tiebreaker. We're going to play 2,300, and then once we went to 2,300, it felt like we never deviated from the script. I actually like the smaller points games because you have to make more choices that are meaningful, but.
And I think hopefully if the community keeps getting bigger, we can have a Friday 1,500 point game. I think Champions is getting some traction because I think some people I'll play Saturday, Sunday, Kings of War, 2,300 points, but give me a 3-game Friday night Champions faction where I'm playing a totally different army in a totally different way.
And Matt mentioned that you guys reprinted Champions because it's been selling relatively well, right?
Yeah, and I think it's going to get even bigger post 4th.
Well, there's a lot of overlap, right? I think a lot of things, the DNA. So question. We know that Rob Ehrman and Matt Gilbert made Champions, but how much of Alessio's fingerprints are on Champions?
Actually, it was pre a little bit of Alessio. And probably when you get there, many of the differences between where we thought 4th was going to be and where 4th ended up, that's the Alessio factor.
Okay.
Because I think, obviously, Rob and Matt were going, well, let's not make Champions 3rd ed.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's going to get redundant. But similarly, we were very conscious that Ambush was not satisfying per se in its own right. It didn't quite have enough.
It's not entry enough because you still have to build lists.
You have to build lists. Where's your hero? Which is where your character is. Yeah. And, you either have a full unit of trolls or no trolls. And you think, well, actually, one troll is kind of cool for 2 troops. So Rob very consciously positioned it that you've got some units and a hero that has a slight OP effect on his gang.
Yeah.
and something crunchy.
Well,
or iron
you
core,
wouldn't be tapping into old GW if you didn't make units that don't exist in Kings of War, like a single Nagari, right? So you got to buy the box. And you got this guy that doesn't transfer. So maybe we'll see a single Nagari hero at some point.
Correct. Or maybe I'm just turning into G-Dub. That's what we're.
Well, you are part. Yeah, you definitely lots of overtures from the Evil Empire. What else is exciting about 4th edition for you?
Well, there's two things. There's the refresh. I think third. I think Kings of War got stale. I think people had drifted away.
Yeah.
I think obviously we spent a lot of time in the last 18 months working on Halo and working on Epic. So that meant, but it was where it was. Champions was our Kings of War product. Epic was our sci-fi. Halo was our recruiter. So I think coming back to it, Clive Stone, who's our in-house 3D printer person, has got a beautiful Northern Alliance army. And
Fantastic.
he built it years ago.
Yeah.
And he's not touched it for ages. What he's taken is, and he's just converted. I'm just showing.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's super cool.
And it's really thematic, but he never took it past. And all of a sudden, he started painting it.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. We're all back in.
Coming up to a new edition, you're kind of like, do I stop? Does it demotivate? But as soon as we're close enough to know where we're going with the game, it opens the floodgates. And the new army, we won't spoil anything, but the new army, did Luigi do that? Because I looked at it, I'm wait, is that a Corvus Belli model? Is that legitimately like the best models you guys have ever produced?
Okay. Well,
and I'm basing it on a photo.
Kyle P was the creative director on this.
Yeah.
So what I'm starting to do now is so that everything doesn't look the same and has a flavour all of its own. We put different creative directors. So we wanted more fun in Champions, Rob.
Yep.
Okay. We wanted Epic to be a beautiful, clean gaming system, Alessio.
Yeah.
And so the Zikalis, they are coming, and Kyle had a creative vision. We said, look, it's Eastern. We want that Eastern themed armor and lean into some of this stuff.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's definitely Asian themed.
Yeah.
But
still fantasy.
All the people that talked about Ophidians.
Yeah.
Right. There's where's the Ophidian army? Well, you could argue that this is part of an Ophidian army.
Certainly next to it.
Yeah, because
Ophidian adjacent.
The slaves. Now you have these large characters that happen to be maybe looking like what an enslaved guardian, the undead version of an enslaved guardian, looks like. So there's certainly some overlap there. I think it's going to blow people's minds a little bit. It's been there for a while. The clues, like the names of the name of the faction, and some
all
of
out
these
there,
things.
and it's properly, and that's why. So there's the two things: is the refresh. I'm very excited about that. We're all painting armies. We've all just kind of got the love back out. I've blown the dust off my dwarfs.
Yeah.
All three units that I've painted in 20 years.
Yeah.
And then the other big thing I'm most excited about with third is fourth is second and third edition. We were backfilling. We were infilling all units.
Yeah.
We were doing the core troops for Northern Alliance, the core troops for Night Stalkers. By the end, with Abyssals, we're coming back and we're getting second regiments.
Yeah.
We're starting to get the Iron Claws. We're starting to get, Berserkers. But it was not until the end of third edition that we were starting to go and revisit the plastics and infill the units. So we've now got these beautifully formed armies that have taken 10 years since Uncharted Empires.
But now they're forgotten empires because we moved on.
Yeah, we moved on. The forgotten empires. And we can now really put a stamp on it. Twilight Kin was a big one. The Halflings were a big one. And so during this time, what we forget is go back and look at what we were like when second edition launched. It is nothing. But now that's been done. We've got these big pieces on the board. Right, now let's make the narrative go. So some of the stuff that's happening, I mean, people know, I don't know where we are in the Dwarf Civil War, but we know all these stories are going to start coming, and the
narrative's been weaving for the last 5 or 6 years. It's coming to a head now.
Correct.
And I think things are going to come out now, and people are going to go, that's a neat twist, but they're not going to realize the preparation, the foreshadowing that the Ben Stoddards of the world have been doing in their books.
Correct. And Matt's been sat there like, the Oracle, weaving all of this in. The Zikali are responding.
So is he the Alan Merritt of Mantic? Or what?
Oh, Jesus. You won't appreciate it. He's the Zikali saw Halpi's Rift, saw this magic get loose, and thought, we're not having that.
Yeah.
We've got to act. They can't be trusted with it. We're going to have to go and take it. And that is the reason for the invasion.
100%.
They're coming because they want to close down magic, but they are invading if they're coming, they are coming.
And they're coming full. including Armada is what you told us, which is fantastic because you have the battle scene, that the artwork we've seen with the boats and the dog-headed sails.
Yeah. The claws are coming, and one of them's coming by boat.
Yeah.
So, and this is the whole Panethor world now. This has all happened in the last 10 years. All the concrete blocks that you need, who's the factions
that can stop the... Yeah, but, look, let's just be honest. They've got to crush Basileia, right? They're the worst, right? They're just going to have to wipe them out. And if you've got Salamanders, Trident Realms, and Halflings aren't going to be able to help them, right?
This is the brick wall. This is where they run into it.
Well, we'll just go around the Shire, right?
I think they've already gone through the dwarves. They didn't even stop the dwarves. They got all the way to the Shire. When you see the map, that's what's all going to come out.
Yeah.
And then these books. So we sat down with Matt, and 2 years ago I said, right, let's just get some structure behind this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you this. It is a world exclusive.
Uh-oh. Well, and you would have already seen the video, so you know what we're talking about in terms of the army. So
there's going to be a book every 6 months. And this is focused on telling a story about a part of Panethor.
Yeah.
And there will be a lead army in each one. There'll be a big secondary player in each one. And there'll be a third army, which in terms of plastic, the first one gets the most. The second one gets some more.
Yeah.
And the third is probably nearly just about there.
And if you've seen the video, you probably can figure this out because you showcase some other armies models potentially.
Right. Well, and there was coming. We know it's Trident Realms. We know Zikali. There's your first. There's your second. Zikali 1. Trident Realms second. Halflings third. They don't need that much. They need a few heroes. They need to get rid of the last.
And Salamander's is going full 3D, so you can give them everything you want and just put the freaking models on the vault, right? And I got my Commandants. And maybe we'll get some of the cavalry unit. We'll see. You know.
Well, and that's allowing us to do some things that if we were trying to put that into plastic as well, they wouldn't come. They wouldn't just want to happen.
Yeah.
So we can do that. Book 1, Invasion. Book 2, Fracture. Book 3, Arrogance.
Well, that's got to be dwarves, right? That's got to be where the dwarves are. Arrogance?
Yeah, we could go with dwarves being arrogant. 4, Ruination. 5, Alliance. 6, Death.
That's interesting. The strife is increasing, but then you've come back where they've maybe it's a last stand and it's not going well. They're not fighting off the invasion, so you've an alliance. Depending on how that last battle or those last battles go, everybody might be dead, and maybe they will be slaves again of the Ophidians.
Is the world will change, and what we're going to do around these books is we're going to start having our summer campaigns, big battles. I want to have things like, hey, masters, all sign up, have this tag on, pick your army. And if these guys win, this happens. And it just means you're A or you're B. And if A happens, if A wins, this happens. If B wins, that happens.
Yeah.
And we can just go into a tournament, pick A or B. And if you go back and look at what the Abyss looked like when we did the second edition, I've got one on my wall I was looking at the other day.
They're fine, but they're old, right? Yeah.
Now you go and look at the Abyss on the map I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay.
It's like it's
so the actual rift is actually growing.
Getting bigger and
getting bigger.
And each time.
Well, because they swallowed up the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood's not here to help anymore.
Right. And people forget this. This story's been running for a while. But I think for the first time, it's not going to be running in the background as we get plastics done, as we just talked about the army. It's going to get done in the foreground, and the armies are players in that story.
I think the big exciting thing here, though, is fourth is fine. But the fact that we're moving the narrative, I mean, when we started this game, you're your own king, blah, 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 blah. It's whatever. It's a trope, right? But now it's not elves aren't elves. Elves are something different. Yeah. Dwarves are something different. Trident realms, right?
They're Imperial dwarves, free dwarves. The Twilight kin, they live in the Rift.
Yeah.
And they come popping out. You've got Night Stalkers. This colour and this character is all growing and emerging. And I think the world's getting so much better for it. What we want to do is, hey, some people just want to turn up, move troops around, roll dice, have good fun.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Read and paint and build. Others want to deep dive into the background. What we want to provide is whatever you want to do, you can do it here.
Well, I mean, the rules can keep us there, but you got to have the models to bring us to the table. This new army is going to be amazing to bring new players to the game, along with other models like you showed, look like depth horrors, look like placoderms. You can infer what you want out of that, but they're certainly in the video.
Oh, there we go. So that's going to go up on Friday.
Yeah.
So
no, you would have already seen that when you hear this.
You guys will. So anyway, exciting stuff, everybody. Thank you. I'm going to get on my plane.
Well, we appreciate you coming all the way to Michigan just to see Kyle Ritchie. Well, that's probably not true.
I would travel anywhere to see Kyle Ritchie.
I believe you gave him a hat too. Instead of losing your hat, you gave him your hat.
No, I'm getting that way these days because it's inevitable. I'm going to lose it. It's quite a nice, iconic piece. It's 20 years old. It's a bungee hat, so he's like. He likes his Halo. He's been my Halo advisor. I'm like, hey, should we do this? When do we get confetti grunts?
Thanks a lot for coming on, Ronnie. I know you guys safe travels. That's a long flight back, and we'll be looking forward to getting
drive,
you.
I think so.
Oh yeah, we'll get you and Kyle on real soon to talk some more.
Yeah, well, we'll do another deep dive, and what we'll do is we'll tee it up, and you can get some questions there from everybody.
We'll do it on Friday. We'll put out as you're hearing this. Look on the Facebook page. You'll
get your questions in. I'm not the specific rules questions. I mean, Cal can answer those, but I think Alessio and Matt have handled a lot of those.
They did.
More about why have you done this? What are you trying to achieve?
We're at a position. I'm old, so I'm in a position where we do these interviews. I don't really care about leaking stuff.
Yeah.
I can wait for the book.
Yeah.
What I really want to know is what's the context and why did you do what you did?
Yeah.
Right. And that because that's your intent. Like, what was the intent?
And by then, the pictures of the Zicali will be out, and Kyle will talk about them.
And by the way, I saw you guys have been working on this for a while. Cathay, this is not.
Gosh, no.
Yeah. So I've heard some comments already. Well, when I heard and saw stuff, it was obviously going that direction. Well, I didn't know about Cathay at all. I'm sure.
When did the first piece of MDF come out in that Champions boxes?
Oh yeah,
that was about before Cathay.
Yeah, for sure.
So I mean,
and I guess that's a trick too. You guys can now figure out what was being formed by the pieces from the various boxes, right? The claw. So it's telling you that the claw is coming, and if you can, it's not too hard of a stretch to figure out.
It's cool, and it's a nice little icon and be
exactly
a little collectible piece.
Are we going to get more champions?
Yes, so
are all the boxes out now that you already had planned? So
what we've done is we've brought it up to speed with everything what I consider. So unless you had 2 plastic sets, I didn't release it because I don't think one 40 of the same figure is going to be exciting for champions.
Yeah, but some even if you had 2 plastics, they might be old, like undead maybe or dwarves, right?
So they're old bases. They've got
the integrated basing, which is a thing.
So there's no integrated bases. There's none with single plastics. As we do that, as about those seconds, so any new army will straight away get a champion.
Yeah.
When I say straight away, 2 months after, we'll probably do 2, get them all together and rinse some champions, do a champions feature for the month. The second army will give us that second cool plastic to go with the rank and flank. Do a champion, they'll come out. So some of the armies, when we get to, will already have a set out.
Right.
Halfling's already got one. So they can't get another one.
Yeah.
But later on, and sometimes we're getting third plastics in some, we'll go, let's just do a different champion and they play a different way.
Or a champion and maybe one different plastic kit or something just to give you access to some more stuff.
Yeah. So, exciting times. Lots going on. We've got to get our heads together, plan some stuff for the Firefight and Dead Zone community. We'll do something there.
Yeah, definitely Dead Zone needs some. I mean, Halo's kind of overshadowed it.
Yeah, it has. And actually, it needs some love. It had a great sci-fi summer last year, which was brilliant, really invigorating everybody.
You got to get Brian Novak some Rebels at some point, right? You got to get him some plastic Rebs.
Yeah,
or at least 3D print.
It's just so much fun torturing Brian. He's such a nice guy. And when he cries, it makes me happy.
Yeah, it's like a puppy. You don't want to kick the puppy.
He got a T-shirt off me. He's got the Clash of Kings 2025 T-shirt. Unless Rick's kept it for himself.
I'm sure Rick did. Well, Ronnie, appreciate the time, and we'll chat very soon.
Yeah, good, and good luck in the last round, I'm sure.
We'll see.
Hopefully you got Kylie goblin on goblin action.
Yeah, or Blake. Who brings an all-defense 6 ringer army? I mean, I don't know if it is that way in Britain, but like here, normally we bring ringer armies that are meant to teach people the game, give them a fair game, not something that you're just going to bash your head against.
Yeah, brick wall. But, I always say it's a bit like, owners look like their dogs. I think players look like their armies.
So you're referring to that Blake may look like a giant golem?
A giant golem with like a brick wall.
He's very slow.
Yeah, dash your head against a brick wall. That is Blake.
Thanks for the time, Ronnie. Appreciate the time.
Yes, everybody. Bye-bye. Thanks, everyone.
Well, next let's chat about a little video that we saw. Now, obviously, when you're hearing this, the video is already out. You will have seen it. But this is initial reactions to the video, which was an announcement or a battle cry or a declaration upon the world of Panathor that there's this race. And I'll preface it by saying, I'll get you guys initial reactions. My initial reaction, the fact that this race is tied to Ophidia, right? Because these are some of the slaves from Ophidia. And so I'll let you guys, Matt, you want to start us off?
My first thought, first of all, is this looks like something, my first impression when I first heard New Army, all this, and kind of saw the teasers that it's probably not what I thought it was. My thought was, oh, come on, Mantic. Really? We're going to just throw something together? This is really well thought out, really well put together. Some of the models that we saw in the video, I have no idea if I'm going to start this army, but I want a few of those models. And when's the last time we said that about Mantic going, you know what? I just want that model to paint it because that looks so cool. Like, I'm really excited about this particular faction just for the models.
So how much detail can
You go ahead, because, I mean,
all right.
people will have seen the video. It won't be spoiled. So you're sharing what you saw.
I said that the dwarves don't get the dog park. Well, the dog park moved.
The dog park moved.
In their own park. So
absolutely,
there it is. If you like dogs, here's your army. And who doesn't? So look at those guys. Like, the theming is so strong.
Mm-hmm.
It feels original. It was one of those things where I looked at it, and the first second I looked at it, I was like, this is not what I expected.
Mm-hmm.
And my second thought is, but I'm on board. Like,
yeah.
And, Mantic, almost to a fault, is generous with their heads. And one of the things they made clear is, do you have a favorite dog? We've included enough heads so that you're going to be able to be like, if you want to have this kind of dog, you can be running all these guys.
Yeah, and I've also heard there's going to be additional 3D printable options as well for heads
and
through the vault.
It was really kind of nice as a owner of a 3D printer. Ronnie made a strong case why 3D printing should be a part of wargaming. And it really felt like top to bottom, that's true.
It's one more facet to deliver models, whether it's plastic, resin, or in this case, 3D printing.
Yeah, but these guys who are rolling in, it sounds like there's some big dogs. What can I say?
Yeah.
They're tied to, ironically, if you guys have played Enslaved Guardian Archers, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have the dog-headed people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There's a connection there, right? Yep. So these were slaves of Ophidia, and they have moved into the east, and now coming back west with a vengeance. And I loved it. It was obviously, this is a teaser video, so it went by really fast. But there's certain things you couldn't miss.
Yeah.
Right? Which is, I will say it, the best models I've ever seen coming out of Mantic. And if I didn't know Mantic was making that video, I could have thought that was Corvus Belli or, I mean, these were high-end, great-looking sculpts of essentially dog humanoid people. There was humans in the army. And let's not forget, those had to be plastic depth horrors, and were those placoderms?
Yep.
So plastic, I'm assuming plastic. I mean, maybe we're wrong. Maybe they're resin or 3D printed, but either way, the video made it very clear. And how do you guys want to take a shot at pronouncing the army name? Or you just call it Army X, I guess.
I mean, I like the idea of calling the Ophidian army because of the fact that Ophidia is such a strong part of it. My friend who got me into the game, he already has an Ophidian army theme of his own. So I think this is something that people have been looking forward to and expecting. I'm glad it has its own name so that we can take it into the modern era. But it also has such strong ties into the lore that is slowly building at Mantic.
Yeah.
I'm not done with my coffee yet, Rob.
I think
I'm not ready for this.
Zero. I don't even know. It's XI. It's a crazy name. We'll have to get an official pronunciation from Matt Gilbert so that when they do the audiobook at some point. But the models were like out of control. I mean, so cool. The dragon.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Well, I want to see what the model looks like. I assume that kind of king of them is going to hit the table. And it seemed like the throne was incredible.
Yeah.
So show me what that looks like.
Yeah. I'm excited, though. It really, and the video made it very clear. These guys are here to conquer, destroy, seek revenge. I'm not sure. I mean, if they're ex-slaves, I can kind of Spartacus kind of thing. Like I get the kind of feel they're here to destroy. And unfortunately, it looked like the salamanders in the Trident Realms, which would make sense with the new book, right? And I'm not sure, and halflings as well, right? Are going to try to stop them, but I don't know, man. Those guys looked pretty amazing.
I'm also super excited for the story. Second edition Kings of War, there is sort of a story, but it's been third edition really fleshed it out. We've gotten the novels, very good novels. I enjoy them. This feels like another step. And to quote Ronnie last night, fourth edition is what Mantic has wanted to do with Kings of War, but they didn't have the money and the resources to do it. But now that Halo has gone just absolutely crazy, they have the financial ability to bring us the product they want, and I'm super excited about that. You know, the idea of the invasion and all of this stuff. There's going to be some cool stories out of all this.
I mean, they had dog people scaling, like sieging, like a Basilean city. It looked like was under siege. It doesn't bode well for those golden.
The humans.
Dudes. Humans are in trouble. Yeah.
Well, the idea that they hate magic, hate magic users. So their goal is to just wipe every magic user out and say, oh, okay, that's interesting. How's that army dynamic work? It's really the first time I've heard something lore-wise and gone, oh, I wonder how that plays on the table.
Exactly.
That's not normally we're playing it on the table and go, I wonder how they're going to explain that in a book.
Exactly. No, I'm excited. It's really, and they had humans in the army as well. And we should say, to just preface this army has been in development a super long time.
Yeah.
This is not a copy of Cathay.
Nope.
Those people are going to say.
Oh, not at all.
I didn't know about Cathay, right, at all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
but I knew about this army. A long time ago, in a little birdie, we looked at some stuff. And I'm like, I don't know where you're going with this, but keep doing this. This is going to be. And I hadn't, until last night, I hadn't seen any of the models. I've just seen some sketches and stuff. I'm just blown away.
One of the favorite things I've heard was along the lines of art requires restriction. Mm-hmm. So it's this is an Asian-themed army, but how can we make it something unique? And I feel like they really did that.
It feels, it is Asian. It's got the armor and the headgear, the weaponry definitely has a Eastern influence.
Mm-hmm.
But it is 100% fantasy.
Yes.
This is no one's going to mistake this for a historical samurai army or something.
I won't be able to play in Firefight. Damn it.
Yeah. Well, for sure, right? I mean, they spent a lot of time making this army have a really unique feel, at least visually.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much of the story yet. Obviously, we'll get that. But I was going into this saying that models matter, rules not as much.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they need to lead with, right? This army is amazing.
Yeah, agreed.
All right. Any other thoughts on the new army?
I just, since you brought up Halo, I think it was cool to just hear Ronnie say that, they're under strict NDA, but it sounds like the Halo's going to keep flowing, but they're also doing what they love from Kings of War and other stuff. So I think that it's just going to be continuing growth from Mantic.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a great open night last night where we spent 30 or so minutes talking about everything but Kings of War. And if you haven't heard that clip, make sure you go back a little while and a couple days ago, and you will have heard the cool things they talked about. Vanguard and our, one thing they mentioned, not so, it was not subtle.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the new army is going to be in Armada.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Right?
100%.
And that is ooh. What are those? I mean, I guess from the artwork we've seen with the Asian inspired boats.
Yep.
With the, I guess now that we know this, more of a dog head on the sails. Mm-hmm. I want that army for Armada.
Looks good.
Yeah. Anything else from last night that you guys thought was oh?
It was a lot of fun. You all should have been here.
It was fun. I know that the question that the people running the show kept on asking was, does this feel like Kings of War? And what do you think?
Oh, 100%.
100%. Totally agree.
Definitely Kings of War. It was a little different, but it was Kings of War.
A lot's changed mechanically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, there's no end of what to talk about.
Yeah, but it's still Kings of War.
It's still Kings of War.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's still ranks and flanks, fighting, shooting. Good movement still matters in this game, right?
Yep.
So.
Totally. It probably matters more than ever.
Absolutely.
I'm pumped for it.
Pumped?
Pumped.
We got 6 thumbs up. That's right. All right, thanks guys. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, Rob.
Thanks for listening. And we'll see you next time on Countercharge. Please let us know what you thought of the show by emailing us at counterchargepodcast@gmail.com, on Twitter at countercharge15, or by commenting on the Countercharge Kings of War podcast Facebook group. If you enjoy the show, you can help others find out about it by leaving positive reviews on iTunes. Until next time, keep countercharging. Music is a composition of Kevin MacLeod and is licensed under Creative Commons.